Hey everyone, welcome. Again, I am Tiffanie Stanard. I am so excited to be here to discuss the entrepreneur landscape here in the city of Philadelphia. I am born and raised in Philadelphia, have grown my businesses here in Philadelphia, and really excited to not only talk about my experience as an entrepreneur, but let you know about some amazing resources and opportunities that are available to you, whether you are in idea stage, growth stage, trying to decide if you want to, change your career into entrepreneurship, and really just go over amazing resources that I have the opportunity of taking advantage of and offering to other entrepreneurs here in the city of Philadelphia. So I'm going to start with my background and then going into some resources and some amazing websites that you can take advantage of and go through them in depth. Because I think sometimes people miss all of the information that is available to them when they are, looking to start out, to go from idea to launch. So as I mentioned, I've been a full-time entrepreneur for over 15 years. And my first business started over a decade ago, Prestige Concepts. And we focused on branding, marketing, website design, vendor management, and technology for small to large companies. So I've had the opportunity to work with different types of companies within the city of Philadelphia and outside of Philadelphia, from small businesses to nonprofits to amazing companies such as Comcast, to Live Nation, to Circus Soleil. When they would come here to Philadelphia, often had the opportunity to work with that group. And, I've been able to really see the difference in the growth of the city of Philadelphia in reference to when I first started over 15 years ago to now in 2020, and all of the resources that are now being provided from different nonprofits and for-profit organizations, the tech community that has grown way beyond what I thought it was going to be, a decade ago, to the actual city government, offering resources and funding to startups and amazing organizations to help them grow, stay, and play here in the city. So really want to give you my experience and then offer you, these amazing resources. So I'm going to start with a website, Philly Startup Leaders. I've watched the, 10-year-old organization grow into what it is today, and happy to now be on the board of directors and really helping the next generation of entrepreneurs learn about this organization and the resources that they are offering. So I'm going to go through their website to let you know all of the amazing things that are happening. So as I mentioned, I'm on the board of Philly Startup Leaders organization, almost about 10 years old now, and has evolved and grown over the years with an amazing team and board that really is focusing on growing the Philadelphia startup community. And it's created by founders, for founders, or people that have had that experience 20, 30, 40 plus years. And it's one of the largest and most active communities of startups for entrepreneurs here in the Philadelphia area. So they support current and future founders by providing them not only education and mentorship, which is what you need early and in the beginning, and also a network to really scale your business. It's really important to have a lot of information when you're starting out and not having to do too much Google searching, but be able to come to one website and find this information in one place. And it's become really a great community of folks and real members with real life experiences that you can become a mentor, can become a mentee, and really just get your questions answered, whether you're looking for legal help, accounting help, funding help, which is, really important in this area, and bringing it all together in one community. And then entrepreneurs uniting when you're going through, resource sharing, and you're looking to hire, you're looking to network and really just get questions answered with a fellow CEO. We have that, and we bring that to the community. And we have different online communities that allow you to really jump on, ask a quick question, get a quick answer from various sources, and then choose the best results for you and your company. And then we have some great accelerator programs founded in Philly. And I'm going to go in a little bit deeper on the Founded in Philly program. So whether you're idea stage and you're trying to figure out what idea you want to start to become an entrepreneur, or you're in growth stage where you're trying to grow an idea, you've launched, you have maybe some customers, maybe a couple of employees, and you're trying to take the company to the next level. So I'm going to go through series 1 of what we're looking for when you're trying to, really start an idea and take it to the next level. So from idea to reality. And this is one of the programs we had the opportunity of finishing early in 2020. It's a little different with COVID-19 and going from in person to building out a virtual, program, but the opportunity to really learn and grow and take an idea to the next level. So we've had, amazing events from in person, now digital, to educational workshops, to accelerating your idea to actually launch by the end of the program, to also building out the community. I've had the opportunity to really mentor a lot of the, new entrepreneurs that are starting, whether they're fresh out of college or even have been in the workforce for many years and is finally taking that jump to become an entrepreneur. We're offering different resources to really focus on helping you build a community so you're not going after entrepreneurship alone. And these are some of the things that we've been offering for a couple of years now. And then, as I mentioned, mentorship, and then expanding on your network, as they say, is who you know when it comes to growing idea and growing your business and giving you the confidence to grow your business with the network that you need to succeed and to really expand all of the work that you are doing. And what I love about how the landscape of Philly has grown, there's been so many amazing companies here in the city that have grown and have raised a lot of money that are now giving back to other startups and have funded programs, have sponsored programs, have worked directly with the entrepreneurs in the city to make sure that they're achieving the same things that they've been able to achieve over the years. So we've had the opportunity to work with the City of Philadelphia, AT&T, Ben Franklin Technology Partners, GoPuff, PGW, and many more. So these are some of the programs that Philly Startup Leaders is offering to really expand the entrepreneurial landscape and make sure that we're growing the entrepreneur, community here and beyond. So whether you're coming to Philadelphia for the first time or born and raised and trying to stay here in Philadelphia, making sure that we're growing and expanding your knowledge base of what's actually available. And then we have the Founded in Philly Series 2. So if you have an idea, but you already launched and you're looking to grow that business, right? Once you get to a certain point where you're trying to grow your business, you want to make sure that you have, your product or your service together, additional legal help, financing help, funding help. And this program really allows you to, in addition to the first program, be a part of events, now digital, and we will hopefully start in person sometime in 21 and 22. Additional education, community, that network, mentorship, and just really expanding on the amazing things that you've learned growing it by yourself, but now you have the ability to really grow with other people. And again, we have amazing program sponsors and partners that not only give funding, but also give additional resources. So really excited to bring these types of programs to the landscape, and it expanded so much over the years. And if you're just coming where you have a lot of the things that you need, but maybe you need additional mentorship. This year, we launched a virtual mentorship program where a lot of people were going through a lot of things privately because the shutdown, and you were not able to physically see people and talk to them about what you were going through. So now you can schedule a virtual meeting with a Philly Startup Leader and someone within our community of successful entrepreneurs that either have transitioned from corporate to entrepreneurship or have been a full-time entrepreneur for 20, 30 plus years and have raised money, have either, sold their company, exits. So we have a long list of amazing, diverse companies and leaders that really allow you to ask what you're looking to ask, right? And sometimes you feel like you can't ask the right questions, but this group allows you to be vulnerable and really put out there what you're looking to achieve in your entrepreneurship journey. And I've had the opportunity to, in the past, not only be a mentee, but now turn around to be a mentor. So if you are looking for mentorship or you are a mentor, please go to phillystartupleaders.org to sign up to really offer or take advantage of the opportunities of working with these amazing companies and entrepreneurs here in the city of Philadelphia. And then we're excited to really discuss this year, in addition to amazing resources, we actually have funding for entrepreneurs, especially underrepresented founders throughout the city of Philadelphia, as we mentioned. And as we know, this year has been a crazy year for founders and folks, growing their business, and the economy and their small business and things have been really different and will continue to be different going into, 2021. And we're excited to announce the Underrepresented Founders Fund that really helps from women to people of color really take advantage of resources and funding from not only the city of Philadelphia, but also amazing companies here in Philadelphia that have raised and are now giving back. So here are some of the companies and their, entrepreneurs that have been able to take advantage of this opportunity. So we're really excited to expand on this, expand on, the type of companies that we're accepting into the program. So we have Equity Forward from Shannon that helps underrepresented job seekers really thrive in tech and startup ecosystem, and being able to help her, excel and expand her business through a time where, it's really hard to expand and grow. We've had the opportunity to really do that with this underrepresented funding, and looking to do more going into the year. So please take the time to look at all of the amazing companies that have had the opportunity to receive funding. And here are some of the amazing companies that donated to these underrepresented founders, and that relationship would only expand more going into the years to come. So make sure that you take advantage of what's happening in the city. I've been able to travel to multiple cities over the last 15 years, from San Francisco to New York to DC to even Turkey for an entrepreneurship conference. And Philly is finally starting to grow into its own and really expand on the amazingness that is offered here. It's a great place to, grow your company, to raise a family. The cost of living is pretty low compared to other cities I've been into. So I'm really excited that being a part of the Philly Startup Leaders allows us to expand and keep more entrepreneurs here in the city. And I'm one of those entrepreneurs that want to stay here in Philly and not only offer my expertise in growing here, but help other entrepreneurs understand all of these resources that are available to really take advantage of here. So make sure that you look at the Underrepresented Founders Fund to really understand the amazing founders that are here in our city. And then lastly, I want to go over our startup guide. As I mentioned, as entrepreneur landscapes really expand in different cities, you want to be able to go to a website that gives you a variety of resources. So a guide in technology, entrepreneurship, and a place whether you are looking for, a community, whether you're looking for ecosystem builders. So ecosystem meaning if you're trying to be around more women, or you're trying to be around more kids that would like to learn technology, we have so many resources that we bring into one place that allows you to learn about them all at one time, from Comcast, NBC, Universal Lift Labs, to Coded by Kids, to Code for Philly, to Philly Tech Week, and the amazing tech events that they have, to Pennovation Works. We try to bring as many resources that we find into this one place, so you're not searching high and low, but you can click here and decide, hey, I would like to connect with these people, and then reach out to someone at Philly Startup Leaders that if you do not have direct contact to them, you're able to reach out to us to say, hey, I would love to connect to the Science Center or Venture for America. So here's some of the ecosystem builders here within the city of Philadelphia. And then we have a list of local tech startups. So some amazing companies that are doing amazing things that, some are new, some have been around for 5+ years, some have been around for 20+ years, that you're able to really reach out to connect with, or reach out to us to get that connection. So we have from Neuroflow that focuses on mental health, to Crossbeam that focuses on partnerships, to Triforce that focuses on custom software. We have almost all of the tech startups here in Philadelphia. This is a growing list, so thankfully we add to it quite often, but want to make sure that you see that there are companies in all industries across the city that you're able to connect with. And then we have, of course, co-working spaces and coffee shops. Unfortunately, it's not the same as it was earlier this year or last year, but we do have amazing co-working spaces when they, open back up and it's safe to go back, from WeWork to the Science Center to Indy Hall, to make offices where, we're growing our companies and spending that time, and look forward to the time when that community is built back up, where we're able to go and connect over the water cooler or, the kombucha machine to really connect and see what everybody's working on, and get back to different events and meeting over coffee at these different locations. So when that is a possibility, this is a great place to go to learn about all of the companies that are really supplying resources for entrepreneurs and startups. And then we have a list of service providers. So as you know, when you're growing a business, you have a lot of legal questions, accounting questions, software questions. You may not be as tech savvy, so you need to connect with companies that can help you build out your product. So I've had the opportunity to work with great companies like Think Company, PromptWorks, Pingy, Punk Avenue, OpenForge, that can give you the resources that you need to really focus on growing and getting the answers that you need legally, accounting wise, and to build out your product. So make sure that you take advantage of these resources to, really take your company to the next level. And then we all need funding, right? You're growing your business, you're trying to, get the resources, hire the team to really take you to the next level. So we give a list of amazing investors here in the city of Philadelphia, investors, funding opportunities. There's more than one way to obtain money for your company. So there's grants that are available, and of course, traditional angel investors and venture capitalists. And personally, my company, Stimulus, have had the opportunity to work with and obtain funding from great companies such as Gabriel Investments, and and Startup PHL, which is provided by the city of Philadelphia, where they offer grants to amazing companies that are underrepresented and that are growing here in the city. So please look at this list, reach out and see what funding opportunities are the best for you. And it's a long list. You have from Ben Franklin Technology Partners to Robinhood Ventures, all amazing people that are really trying to help you stay and grow here, and knowing that you need the funding to do so. So making sure that you look at this list when it's that time to really fundraise and, expand your company and hire and, bring on more people. And then we're bringing, great news to the city when, we're looking for not only board members, we're looking to really bring on additional speakers and mentors that can really support the organization and the entrepreneurs throughout the city. So want to make sure that you're taking advantage of everybody that is offering you these resources, and even going, to universities that if you graduated from one of these universities or have a connection to one of these universities, you have the opportunity to work with, from the Community College of Philadelphia to Drexel University. And I've had the opportunity to hire from these different schools as well. And they have amazing talent that you can bring to your company and your idea to take it to the next level as well. So here are some of the resources that are happening with the city of Philadelphia, as well as Philly startup leaders. And wanted to make sure that I went through the website so you can see all of the things that are offered to you that I know sometimes are missed when you're going through and kind of searching for information. So now I'm going to go into an additional resource that I've had the opportunity to take advantage of with PACT Philadelphia. I'm also on the board of PACT, and, have had the opportunity to offer not only my leadership, but my expertise in building out a more diverse community and support for, communities of color. So PACT stands for Philadelphia Alliance for Capital and Technology, and it's really for fast growing companies and making sure that you're taking advantage of capital, coaching, and customers that they're able to provide to you. So this really allows you to connect with a lot of corporations and big companies, not only in Philadelphia, but the surrounding areas of Philadelphia as well, in the Philadelphia region, that allows you to see and understand resources that are available to you. So one of the resources that I've had the opportunity to take advantage of is Mentor Connect. Mentor Connect is an amazing connection between finding the right people and the wisdom that you need to grow and take your company to the next level. So if you've been, an entrepreneur for a while, you can be a mentor and really offer your expertise to the next generation. Or if you're starting a new idea and you need a little extra help, becoming a mentee and getting some feedback and some insight from folks that maybe have been in an industry a little bit longer than you have been. And I've had the opportunity to do that as I expand into different roles and start new companies. Sometimes you need to reach back and really ask different questions about, the industry that you're in to someone that's just been in that industry a little bit longer. So Mentor Connect is an amazing place that you can go to connect with the right people. And it's a great opportunity to really start going into 2021 when a lot of changes are happening within, the entrepreneur landscape in a lot of cities, but especially here in Philadelphia. And then you have Customer Connect. Customer Connect is another great opportunity. As a business, we all need customers, whether you're providing a product or you're providing a service. And this is a great opportunity for companies to meet with enterprises, executives, technology buyers, and they're looking to meet with startups, growth stage companies to really help you, get pilots and test out your idea or test out your product. And as I mentioned, they work with so many amazing corporate companies, from Independence Blue Cross to Bentley to UPenn, and wanted to make sure that we're bringing them all together. Sometimes, depending on your network, it may be difficult to actually reach out and meet these different organizations in a timely manner to get feedback on your product or service. So taking advantage of a program such as Customer Connect really gets you in front of the right people at the right time and very quickly. So this is an opportunity that is growing within the entrepreneur landscape here in the city that we're trying to promote for folks to really take advantage of on a regular basis. And then lastly, Capital Connect. As I mentioned with the Philly Startup Leaders, it's really important to understand the different financial opportunities that are available for your idea and for your company. So in addition to taking advantage of the Philly Startup Leaders, the PACT has an amazing capital conference that allows you to connect to private equity, to venture capitalists, to angel investors that are really looking to fund amazing companies here in the city and trying to make sure that they're keeping these companies here in the city. Sometimes when you're growing your company, you go to other cities and you look elsewhere to really find the money and the resources that you need. And we, over the last 5+ years in the city, has really started to see the amazing opportunities here and the money that is here that can help fund these companies, and especially for communities of color. So between both organizations, they have a focus to really, expand diversity, reach out to communities that they may not have been in years prior, and bring on folks like myself that has the experience of growing a company, fundraising for a company, and can offer my experience on both ends of how to really stay, grow, and expand here in the city of Philadelphia. So this is another great opportunity for possible investment that you're able to really take advantage of here with the PACT Capital Conference. And again, the website is PhiladelphiaPACT.com, and check it out to see additional resources that is available to you. And I do want to talk about a couple of their signature events that they have. That's how I was first introduced to PACT. The thing about Philadelphia, we have so many events, we're now digital, but previously we had so many events where each week you can, meet up with, different colleges, to investors that were having, different coffee hours or happy hours. And, a lot of it has turned digital this year, but it also allowed us to expand and connect more with people, especially when events were kind of back to back at the same time. So here's some of the signature events that PACT has as well. PACT Capital Conference, as I just mentioned, Forum, which allows you to showcase your product or service and, to the community, and get feedback and really, get thought leadership on that product or service. Enterprise Awards, which is an amazing opportunity that allows you to, if you've been growing your company for many years here in the city, it really allows you to showcase all the things that you and your team have accomplished over that time. And then the PACT Foundation Breakfast, which is another way for folks to come together and highlight supporting diversity, equity, and inclusion, especially in STEM, education, entrepreneurship, and investment. And it's been really great to see the, expansion of not only diversity and inclusion, but also the importance of tech education, the importance of working with amazing organizations like Coded by Kids to start young and give them that understanding about entrepreneurship, going into the technology industry, and how to really learn where do you fit and where do you want to fit within technology or business. So we have a lot of great events that, as I mentioned, now are digital, but will be around for, the next year to really expand and help grow our entrepreneur landscape. And here are a couple of different news outlets where we're featuring companies. We're always trying to feature what's happening in the city. So I've had the opportunity to feature a lot of different companies, do my relationship with PACT, also do my relationship with Philly startup leaders. And it's really important to highlight, especially in communities of color, all the companies and what they're building and what they're doing for their community. And sometimes it takes that time for you to reach out to them to say, hey, this is what's happening. This is how I'm helping. This is what my product or service is doing. So a lot of my background, in addition to technology, is media and branding. I've been a radio personality with Radio 1 for almost 10 years, and I have worked with from Fox to NBC on different media projects as well. And one of the things is the untold stories in our communities, and making sure that you understand, we're building amazing businesses. And when those stories are told a little bit more, you get to see the growth of those companies, funding towards those companies, and additional partnerships with organizations such as PACT, such as Philly Startup Leaders. And so I'm really excited to be on both of these boards to expand and bring this information that it took me years to learn myself, right? To take this and bring this to my community and expand their knowledge of all of the resources that are available to them. So make sure that you go to PhiladelphiaPACT.com to learn more about PACT, and go to PhillyStartupLeaders.org to learn more about Philly Startup Leaders. And both are, as I mentioned, nonprofits that are really honoring and expanding the Philly Startup Guide and ecosystem to really grow, amazing companies that I've seen, including my own, and, wanting to make sure that we are highlighting that. And I do want to close out with a couple of events that Philly Startup Leaders have done over the years. Unfortunately, we had to switch digital for this year and kind of move a couple of them to 2021. But we have an amazing Entrepreneur Expo, which is an event that we've done every year for many years that bring together 100 plus companies, mentoring meetings, different talks, product demos. So whether you are just starting out building a product or your product is fully built, this is an amazing opportunity for early stage to mature companies to really go into the Philadelphia community and showcase everything that you're building and what you've been working on. And I had the opportunity to present my company last year and look forward to the opportunity of working with other companies as now a board member to present their company next year. So here's one of the events that we have that we're look to bring back, and you can sign up anytime to be a part of it. And then we also have Founder Factory. So Founder Factory is a half-day conference that celebrates connecting successful founders and business leaders. Sometimes you just need to hear a company story to know your story is not so different, right? It allows you to have the insight about what's happening with the entrepreneurs around you and understand that this stuff happens. Everybody's company is not perfect. They go through highs and lows, and you're just not able to see half of that information on social media. So this is one of those days where you can connect to amazing entrepreneurs and learn about their successes, their failures, and everything in between. And it's one of my favorite events. I had the opportunity to speak there last year and talk about, fundraising and how I'm building my current venture Stimulus. And you just don't get events where you can be vulnerable and really explain to the world what's happening, with your company, and do that in a kind of private setting throughout the day. So Founder Factory is an event that unfortunately we had to, put on hold for 2020, but definitely we'll be bringing this event back for 2021 and would love to have more diverse entrepreneurs a part of this event and really showcasing what you're building in your community. So want to make sure after this, event that we tweet out all of this information for you to sign up for next year to really start building that relationship with Philly startup leaders and showcasing what you're building and where you will be at this time next year. So it's a great event to be a part of. And lastly, one of our events that we were able to make digital, which is called 1 Million Cups. And it basically is focused on educating, engaging, and accelerating early stage companies where before, when it was in person, you would meet over coffee, pitch your idea, and get feedback on that idea. Now you're able to do that digitally and get feedback from different folks throughout the city that, have experience with your industry or building a similar type company. So we, expanded to make sure that we were able to keep this digital event, and you're able to come on, whether you're coming on as a mentor or you're coming on to pitch your startup and your idea. This is a great event that's in multiple cities now, and we officially launched it here in Philadelphia, I think about a year or two ago at this point. And it's something that's done from Kansas City to other amazing, startup ecosystems that are really expanding the entrepreneur landscape. So was really excited when Philadelphia became an organizer of this type of event, because it just allows you to get quick feedback on how you're, really explaining your company. So it's nothing like getting that feedback from people that have been there. So you can apply to pitch or just RSVP to attend the event. And it's something that, we've been doing for a while and have been able to continue throughout 2020, and we'll definitely look to expand going into 2021. And lastly, I do want to speak about Startup PHL. I know we have the amazing Iola from the city of Philadelphia speaking a little bit later, but I do want to speak about my experience of working with Startup PHL, which is an amazing program that is done by the city of Philadelphia with the Commerce Department. And I've had the opportunity to work with them in a couple of different ways. One, my company Stimulus had received funding from them last year. And then we had the opportunity with Philly startup leaders to present different grants to underrepresented founders and communities that, were able to take advantage of resources and funding from the city. So startupphl.com is a great resource for new opportunities, innovators, thinkers, And it started a few years ago, and they started really funding and partnering to keep and grow startups here in the city. And they work with, not only for-profit companies, but also startup and nonprofit companies and for-profit companies. So wanted to make sure that I highlighted this program because it's really important when you're talking about the entrepreneurship landscape here in the city, that you talk about the actual city of Philadelphia and the government itself. There's not, a lot of cities that you're always getting support from your city itself. So when a program like this is organized and is successful to help not only for-profit, but nonprofit companies, you really want to highlight it. One, me being a recipient, but two, to showcase where the city has grown and supporting, especially communities of color over the years. So really wanted to make sure I highlight this. And if you go to the website, startuphl.com, and you look at the different resources of, funding your startup, and they, do from call for ideas to, partnering with different organizations to go to different conference in other cities to highlight those startups that they funded and partnered with. And as I mentioned, it's done with the Department of Commerce. And, they want to have you not only stay here, but hire here. It's all about creating jobs and creating economic opportunity and development in these cities, in these communities. And from working with them, I had the opportunity to expand my technology team here in the city. And I'm very thankful for that type of relationship. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I highlighted all of that information to bring it all together to showcase. There's so many different, resources and sites that you as an entrepreneur, whether you're in idea stage or you're in growth stage, that you can really take advantage of in the city. And I know a lot of other entrepreneurs that will speak today can go even deeper with their experience and all of the things that they've been able to take advantage of, because sometimes there's so much to take advantage of. You may only have even touched, 80% of what's actually out there. And just making sure that you're giving back to offer the same resources to another startup, growing here and trying to decide if they want to stay here in the city. So I'm going to go to a little bit on my background, a little bit more, and talk about the business that I'm currently growing. And then I'm going to close out with taking questions. If you have any questions on my background, also Philly Startup Leaders, PACT, Startup PHL grant, making sure that I cover that information. So as I mentioned, I've been growing businesses for over 15 years. My first business, I've had the opportunity to work with some of the largest companies in the world, and started working not only in, technology and business, but also working in media and working with entertainment companies to help bridge the gap between your brand and branding all of that information into one place to really help you grow your company. And now I'm working on Stimulus, which is a company that I started in 2017 that really focuses on procurement, purchasing, and making sure that you are utilizing data and analytics to really make better purchasing decisions for your business. So we work with from small to large companies and have had the opportunity, like I said, to take advantage of amazing resources here in Philly to grow this business, to take advantage of partnering with the city of Philadelphia, taking advantage of obtaining, venture capitalists and grants here in the city, and knowing that there's no other place I would rather grow this business, as I've had the opportunity to travel to Atlanta, San Francisco, everywhere, and knowing that Philly is an amazing city. It has amazing organizations such as Jefferson and Comcast that really allows you to live well here and grow and hire the right people. We have an amazing, college scene that has allowed me to take advantage of that scene to bring on amazing team members to take our business to the next level. And from that knowledge, being able to partner with even larger companies, such as we have a partnership with Microsoft, we have a partnership with Google, and that is allowing us to showcase the amazing city of Philadelphia. Every time I'm posting and I'm, going back on everything that we're building, I make sure to say we are growing and representing Philadelphia and making sure that the companies that are putting out additional funding and bringing resources to the cities, that Philadelphia is one of those companies that they're looking to have as a part of their portfolio of, I am launching here in Philadelphia, I'm creating a second office here in Philadelphia, and also making sure that they're focusing on communities of color. And as we see, for 2020, there's been an increase with especially large companies to, put their money towards racial equity and economic opportunity. And is one of my missions to make sure that money is coming to Philadelphia to help our startups and our businesses grow and really fix the local economy that was really damaged because of 2020 and continue that for 2021. So that is one of the missions that I am working on and have had the opportunity to work with, as I mentioned, a couple of those big companies that are considering Philadelphia for some additional resources and some things that I will look to grow and expand and make sure that folks that are listening and that are part of, this ecosystem and this landscape can take advantage of this information. So please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn if you're looking to really learn more about my background and the different boards that I'm on that are truly focused on community, technology, media, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I'm going to take a break and let you ask some questions, because I know I was supposed to leave 15 minutes for questions. So I want to make sure that I do that, just in case that I didn't cover something that you're looking to hear about. So I'm going to switch back to the screen and see if there's any questions that you may have. I do see some questions. Okay. Okay, great. So one of the questions is, how does Philly Startup Leaders Mentorship work? Is it free to join? And yes, it is free to join. So let me go back to that information. So if you're looking to work with a mentor or become a mentor, it is free. It's virtual right now. We may, switch back to in-person in 2021, depending on what's happening. But these are leaders that are able and willing to donate their time for either a virtual coffee or at one point, in-person coffee to offer expertise and guidance. So you go to phillystartupleaders.org, you click on the link at the top, and then you could complete the form and, letting them know what you're looking to obtain from the mentorship and what type of leaders are you looking to meet with. So here are a list of all of the virtual mentors that are part of the program. And this is growing on a weekly basis where people are just dedicating their time to answering questions that you may have. So we have from service companies to technology companies, from men to women, throughout, the area that, this list actually expanded because everybody's digital now, right? So they have a little bit more time on their hands and they really want to help expand and grow. So this list is pretty long. So you can click on their information. It'll take you to their LinkedIn page. So in addition to the information here, you can learn more about their position or their company. And then here's their direct email if you want to directly contact them to schedule a meeting as well. So it's a great opportunity. So go through the list and see what's important to you. And again, yes, it is free. So let me go to the next question. As a founder, what were some of the mistakes you made when you were getting started? What do you wish you would have known that you should take the time to learn? Great question. So you make every mistake when you first start. I think my first mistake when I started my first business was thinking I could do everything myself. versus hiring the right people to do the things that I just wasn't good at, right? So that could have been accounting to legal to other things like that. And sometimes it could be because of resources and not having the money. It could be because you're, being prideful and you don't want to ask for help and thinking that you can do everything yourself. So being vulnerable enough to ask for help. And if I can't afford to pay for a service that I may need, figuring out a way to barter and partner with that person that I may need in order to get the same results. So I figured out a better way to make relationships over the last 15, 20 years, and excited to use that for my second business where I, launched Stimulus and had all the resources that I need and all of the help that I need, and brought in all of the things that I was not good at and focused on the things that I was good at. And what I wish I would have known that I should have taken the time to learn, definitely understanding more on the legal and financing side of your business. It took a while to really understand, like, you want to start out with the right people. You want to have the right accounting and bookkeeping. You want to make sure your taxes are correct. And you want to make sure that, you have all the legal documentations that can protect you, your business, your customers, your employees. And those are the things that you should not be cheap on, especially starting your business, because at a later date, it will cost you more money than it did in the beginning. So we now have an amazing, accounting firm that we work with, to a legal team that, from the start of this business, I was able to take care of and, present and prepare ourselves for the future. So very excited about that. Next question. What advice do you have about getting through all the legal processes that are needed to start a business? To my point, get a lawyer. When we first started my first business years ago, I did a lot of Googling to figure out, different documentations that I needed, which was wrong, because when I look back on the documentations, there were things that did not protect me if something happened in the future with that relationship. So thankfully, I don't know if at that time when I first started my business that was around, but now in 2020, there are so many programs that are offered to entrepreneurs, startups, that some are pro bono, some are you can get deferred payment, and some are where you can, partner with that startup, with that legal team, for them to help you in the earliest stage until you're able to really pay, their fees. And there's a lot of young lawyers that are just starting out, getting their degree, that are looking to work with startups and can offer you discounts. And some are coming directly from college, some are on their own. So I've been able to take advantage of that for many years. And now we're working with a great lawyer here in Philadelphia, Morgan Lewis, that have an amazing startup program that really helps early companies get the legal things that they need correctly in the beginning stages, so you're not paying for it in the long run. So it's definitely been pretty amazing to have that early on, and that relationship early on. And next question, what advice would you give on the topic of building your own team and making connections? So great question. When I first started my first business, that was the hard thing, right? Finding the right people that, was excited about your company as you are. And, it took a while to really find that and build out the team. Thankfully, I, joined different boards and different communities over the time. By the time I started Stimulus in 2017, that allowed me to connect with executives or current or former entrepreneurs that were looking for a change. So when I first started my business, Stimulus, I had kind of a list of people that I've spoken to over the years that, even prior to launching, I went over the idea and said, would this be something that you would be interested in either advising, joining the team, recommending some people? So it's, being a part of different networks. It's, being a part of these different communities, maybe joining some boards so you can meet executives that you may not have met and would not have met if you were not on this board. And that's how I built out this team. It literally is from years of connecting and finally building the relationships I needed to take my next venture and any venture to the next level. And making connections really goes into, what we were kind of doing before, going to happy hours, going to coffees, connecting at these co-working spaces that have built-in communities. And I was really able to build out the team that we have now to take our company to the next level. So last question, who were your key teachers and mentors? Everybody. I feel like everybody, I never really called people mentors, but I used everybody as kind of as a mentor. Everyone that I met that had some sort of success that I was looking to achieve over the years had success or knowledge within my industry that I took that time to sit down with them and have a coffee. So I've had friends that, that turned into mentors that they probably didn't even know they were my mentors. But I would call them for different, conversations and quick answers. So I've had different types of mentors that I've spoken to that I've either worked with over the last, 10, 15 years, or people that, I had the chance to connect with on a board. So, the best way I've found, a mentor or a teacher was from meeting them at events, seeing them over and over again at these different events and saying, hey, I want to get to know this person, not only to possibly, build a friendship, but also I can learn a lot from that person and perhaps they can also learn from me. So I've been able to kind of build friendship, mentorship type of relationships with all the folks that I currently have in my life that, they didn't even know that I would check that box of like, yep, they're a mentor. They don't even know it yet. So it's been a lot of different people, from men, women, even some people younger than me. There's been a lot of young folks around me that have been doing an amazing job growing their business. Like, yeah, I'm learning from you too. So definitely been able to grow that list over a good amount of time. So I am out of time, everyone. Thank you so much for listening and joining this talk about the entrepreneur landscape here in the city of Philadelphia. It's been amazing to, talk a little bit about my journey, but really go through all of the resources that are available to you, from Philadelphia PACT to Philly Startup Leaders to Startup PHL with the city of Philadelphia. Please make sure that you take advantage of all of these opportunities, and feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or TiffanieStanard.com if you have any other further questions, or if I can be a resource to you to connect you to the folks that I am working with as a board member. I am always open to mentoring and making those connections. And it's been amazing to be here. And I hope that you enjoy the rest of the conference, everyone. Thank you so much.